going to do a short video on car washing procedures and otherwise my take on Chemical Guys Blacklight car wash. This wash soap is awesome. It's a radiant finish. I think it's part of it has a glaze type finish to it. It's unlike anything I've ever used. It has a lot of gloss enhancers in it, and it sheets water very good after a wash. And it doesn't necessarily leave a synthetic coat of anything that you're worried about getting off the car like a silicone-based product. I've used Geon Wet Coat since me and a guy at Jack's Wax, me and Jared at Jack's Wax had talked about the Geon Wet Coat, so that day I went and got it. I do not like the product either. On black cars, for some reason, it leaves a real hard to get off kind of glaze, not necessarily a glaze, but a shiny kind of spray wax type coat on the car. And I mean, I'm pretty sure that's what it's designed to do. I think there's silicone in it, and it left streaks on the Land Rover that I otherwise couldn't wipe off when I'm done wiping off the truck. It's got streaks in it like you just can't get them out. Like if you were to clean a windshield and then wipe it a couple times and then leave it to dry, and then you look through it in the sun and you can see the streaks in it. Looks like just like that on the paintwork. This stuff is awesome. I've ordered it in a gallon jug because I do use a lot of it. You only need to use a couple ounces at a time. I will eventually put it in a little 16-ounce bottle with a little flip cup on it, like I got there first time when I tried it. Little 16-ounce jobby like this that most of their stuff comes in. That's what I'm going to transfer this over to, so I can just do a simple 2 squirts. I'm going to go ahead and just guesstimate exactly how much I need in my bucket, and then I'll fill my bucket up. I just run the garden hose out from the spigot on the side of the house. I live far out in the country, so what I've done with all of the water that comes out of the spigot is I've plumbed it in so that I can not only heat it and I can use hot water. I have 2 valves, one for hot, one for cold, so I can mix in the basement, mix exactly how hot the water is that's coming out of this. When I have the wood burner going, my water is not, it is heated to exactly how hot the wood burner is at. So if I have my wood burner set at 195 like I do, it comes out of the tap at 185 degrees. So that's how hot my water is. Some people say it's dangerous, but I mean, if you know the wood burner's on and you know the water's going to get scalding hot, then you stay away from it. It's kind of like being lactose intolerant. You know to stay away from milk and dairy products. So the fact that people say, oh, it's stupid, whatever, that's your life, not mine. I just usually keep the quick disconnect end on my hose and use the peacock shutoff in the quick disconnect. Everybody's like, well, why don't you have a thing? And it's metal on the end. Well, it's metal. Keep it away from the car. Don't get it close. Don't be an idiot with it. Don't swing it around and be doing all that kind of crazy stuff. So that's what I use, so I can quickly put it on the pressure washer when I'm using the pressure washer, and then boom, it's done. I can click it into other hoses. I have all quick disconnect fittings, so that's what makes sense for me. So let's go ahead and fill up the bucket. I'll show you exactly what I do. This product does foam a lot. I like anything that foams. When I'm cleaning, I like soap foam. That's something that's always just the feeling of getting it clean. So I've already rinsed down the car, but go ahead and get a quick rinse. So when I'm doing this, when I'm washing the car, I consider this entire top area of the car, since it's all glass, I consider it to be part of the windshield. So I will wash that last. It's kind of counterintuitive with everybody's all like top down and stuff like that. I wash that last because when I'm washing it, it has rails on both sides of it, and when I'm hosing it off, it's not coming over the side of the car. So how I think about it is when I wash this off, I'm literally just washing all glass, and it's either going down into the cowl, going over the trunk and over the rear bumper, or it's going, it's not going past the side channels of my roof section. So I will wash this entire side, and then wash that entire side. Then I will wash my front bumper, then I will wash my rear bumper, and then I will go through here and rinse it all off. So I have nice body lines that are going up and down the car. This is where I usually stick around. So I'll wash from here up first, and then I'll wash from here down to here, and then I'll go to the other side and wash over there. After I'm done with that, then I will take my microfiber towel and I will go down on the bottom. So I use a yellow microfiber towel from Jack's Wax. I think the GSM on it is 5. It's a fairly low pile towel, and it's kind of a work towel for me. I've tried work towels and the workhorse towels from Chemical Guys. I don't like them. I really like these towels. They're rather inexpensive at like $1 a piece. So I will buy 10 of them at a time. And then when you get, as you get them dirty and you get them nasty, you can go ahead and just throw them away. So I got my wash bucket. What I'll do is I'll wipe this side of the car down. I will usually stop around the rear tire on the side of the car, right in this area here. Hopefully you can see that in frame. Right in here is where I stop. I'll come down the C-pillar and I will wash to about here. Everything here back is nothing but road grime and garbage. Tar and iron and crazy stuff. So obviously rinse bucket, rinse my towel out. I'm a little bit more anal than some people. So I will dunk my towel a couple times, wring it out, make sure it's nice and wrung out, and then it's back in the wash bucket. Sometimes I see people, they just take the towel, dunk it in the wash bucket or rinse bucket, and right back into the wash bucket. Did that get any of your dirt off? Did that let any of it come off? I don't necessarily know. We're all trying to get rid of micro scratching, and especially on a black car, we want to keep the scratching to a minimum. Especially on the Mercedes paint, where it shows everything. Alright, so then I'll wash the top section of this. Obviously staying with the straight lines. I will dunk a couple times, grind it on my grit guard, bring it back up, rinse it out a couple times here. And then I will stop at this lower body line around my rocker panel, so that I don't get a crazy amount of dirt. So here is about the lowest that I'll go because of all the road grime. Then I will go over to the other side of the car, wash that, and then come back around to this lower rocker panel and actually get the bad stuff. So sometimes when I'm feeling froggy, I will wipe a panel 3 to 4 times. I don't necessarily have a method to my madness on, oh yes, I fold it in 4s and then I'll wipe one piece and then I'll flip it and wipe it again. All right, I'm not working on a Lamborghini or a McLaren. At the end of the day, if you're going to scratch the car, you're going to scratch the car. It doesn't really matter how you hold your towel or what you do with it. Sometimes, yes, that helps. And sometimes it's just being over, you're being way too obsessive compulsive about it. So that's how I usually do it. I'll wipe the panel 3 or 4 times, make sure that it's nice and clean, because you will miss a spot. It never fails. You'll wash off the car and you'll miss a spot where you completely gapped a whole section where you didn't even realize when it was wet that you missed it. Stuff like my matte hood, where it shouldn't have any gloss enhancers on it, I try to stay away from it. Once I get my matte detailer and wipe the hood down, obviously no more gloss enhancer or anything touches that. Now that I'm in here and I have a controlled environment, it's heated, and I keep it decently warm in here but not hot, and then there's no sun on it, the car could sit like this the whole time while I go over there. If I was outside, I'm immediately hosing it off. For instructional purposes on how I do it, I'm going to just go ahead and hose it off now. come back from the other side and I wipe down my lower section there where it has all the road grime and stuff on the side skirt, then I'll just rinse it off again. The Blacklight really has a sheeting hydrophonic kind of property to it, but it's not crazy. It's not like I sprayed a spray wax on there and it's just beating water all right off. I don't have any kind of wax on this right now. The last time I did it was Jet Seal, and that was 4 or 5 months ago, and I don't believe that Jet Seal holds up for that long. It's kind of like any wax. It could last a month, and usually that's all a wax is good for. Sometimes I've had waxes that last a week. I wash it one time and the wax seems to be gone. It's not even on there anymore. So that's usually how I wash my car. Blacklight is some awesome stuff. I'll put a link to it in the description. And I usually buy it off Amazon. Sometimes straight from Chemical Guys. It's cheaper then. It just depends. I buy most of my stuff off Amazon because it's easy and it's all in one place. But yeah, if you like my videos, go ahead and subscribe. I'll be doing more product reviews and little stuff and how I use it. Just doing that all the time. Stay tuned and we'll see you next video.